Welcome to Designing Spaces, the show that's all about you and your space, our special holiday show. I'm Debi Marie.
And I'm David Jones. This show is all about the holiday season and how it affects your home, your family, and how it affects you. And we have a great lineup on today's show for you.
Yes, we do. We'll be fixing up the place and getting it together for all the activities for the season.
And we'll give several rooms around the house a facelift, starting with the window dressing. A makeover is coming up.
And we'll get into the kitchen and prepare some holiday meals. Anyone having turkey on the menu?
Yes, please.
Well, we've got something that you'll want to see.
Plus, a unique high-tech approach to clean air in the home, and a lot more.
So stick around and see it all right here on Designing Spaces Holiday Special.
Okay, now that was great. Now we're cooking with olive oil.
That's right, with olive oil, exactly. Designing Spaces has hooked up with the pros for some fantastic recipes and ideas that make for delicious holiday meal planning. Watch this. The holidays aren't complete without good food and entertaining. And for many of us, a big family dinner is a certainty. But all too often, the fine dinners are high in fats that may not fit into our dietary plans. As our special guest, Chef Nick Stellino, author of the cookbook Nick Stellino Cooking with Friends, is here to share with us some fantastic recipes for the holidays that share one common ingredient, olive oil. Designing Spaces is partnering with Pompeian Olive Oil to help Americans make smarter eating choices. Nick, welcome to Designing Spaces.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
It's a pleasure, and I see you came very well prepared.
Well, we have the whole lineup of Pompeian olive oils, and it's all about purity and quality.
Okay.
What defines purity and quality? Pompeian has earned the seal, the North American Olive Oil Association, #1, very stringent seal, all the way down to random testing, as a matter of fact, to ensure that the consumer gets the very best.
Okay.
Also, it meets the new stringent guidelines of the USDA, so it's one of those things that makes you feel like you're really getting what you want. But what is the difference between all the different oils that they have? So we have extra virgin olive oil, classic, extra light tasting, olive extra, and olive extra plus with omega-3. Every olive oil has a different purpose.
Okay.
Extra virgin olive oil, great to be used raw for dips, marinades, for salad dressing, where you really want a pungent, full of flavor Mediterranean experience. Classic is a lighter tasting olive oil, something where you don't want the strong presence of the olive oil into it. Then we have the extra light tasting. That is fabulous. At home, I always use that myself every time it comes to frying, because it has a very high smoking point and allows you to really bring it to high temperatures. Then there is the olive extra and the olive extra plus with omega-3. These are very important. They're fantastic, especially if you're accustomed to do deep frying with corn oil or with vegetable oil. These are perfect for the purpose. And they're a nice mixture of canola oil and extra virgin olive oil, so you have the wonderful flavor of the extra virgin olive oil that comes along with it.
Let's talk about olive oil versus butter and when to use olive oil instead of butter.
Well, listen, I love butter just like anybody else.
Right.
But olive oil versus butter has two significant issues. One is of flavor and the other one is of health. A tablespoon of butter has almost 3 times the amount of saturated fat of a tablespoon of olive oil. People are not aware of the fact that olive oil tastes fantastic. As a matter of fact, in many of the high-end Italian restaurants all across the nation, when you sit down, one of the things that they offer you is beautiful Italian bread and a little bit of a bowl of the finest olive oil where you can dip the bread in it and take this wonderful aroma. So that's one of the things that we use. By the way, there's a wonderful cake right next to you, and this is what most people are not aware at home. Every time it comes to butter or shortening and making of pastries, extra light tasting makes the ideal substitution for butter in the making of sweets. Also, what I use it for when I bake, I line the pan with the extra light tasting olive oil to ensure that when you finally pop the cake on it slides right out without any burn, without sticking to the pan.
That's
a little trick that helps a lot of people.
Yeah, because I never thought of olive oil for baking. And you're going to show us some great holiday recipes.
Absolutely. Let's get started with this one.
Okay.
I have this wonderful shrimp recipe. Come with me.
Ooh, sounds good. Okay.
Let me show you to make this dish. It's simple, right to the point. We added some classic olive oil to the pan.
Okay.
We want a nice oil that can take a high smoking point. We got it nice and hot. Now we add the shrimp. This is very important for people at home to know this, because the biggest mistake that people make when they cook shrimp, they bring it to the oil when the oil is just warm enough. And that is a problem, because the shrimp goes from raw to cooked and then rubber in just a matter of seconds.
We don't want that.
By the way, this is part of an old Southern Italian tradition. La Vigilia, which is the day before Christmas, people do not eat meat, and they do not use milk products, including butter. Okay. So most of the dinners are done exclusively with fish, done in 7 different ways: fried, roasted, barbecue, whatever the case might be.
A lot of different ideas.
And this will be one of those dishes. Look, it's already cooking. Look how fast it is. Just about 15 seconds per side. Okay. This is exactly what this oil does for you. It brings you to the perfect temperature right away. Now, at this point, we stir it just a couple. The aroma that's coming out, beautiful. So good. Let's move it out. Let's just park it over here. But keep the oil in there, because the oil has an enormous amount of flavor. We're going to make now the sauce that goes together with that.
Put it to the side.
Look how rich that oil is, full of flavor. So here we go. A little bit of garlic in there. A little bit, so to speak. If you're Southern Italian like me, this is the average amount. Together with the garlic, we put a little bit of tomatoes, cut in cubes, makes it prettier, also easier to cook. Together with that, you want to put some fresh herbs, and I put them whole. In this case, we have parsley, Italian parsley. As they fry into the oil, they release into the oil the natural flavors, and this is exactly what we like.
That smells so good.
I like to get it done. I'm going to eat this myself. I'm hungry. It's almost lunchtime. Here we go with the shrimp again.
Okay. So when the sauce is almost done, go ahead and put the shrimp back in. And
one last touch before we let it go. And the touch is Pompeian, by the way, also makes a wonderful line of cooking wine. So we're using Pompeian white wine cooking wine. Just cook it until the wine completely evaporates.
This is a very easy recipe.
It's fantastic. It's right down to the point. You see the shrimp now is picking up the color that's cooked.
Yes.
But you can see as I'm touching it how nice and tender still is.
Yeah.
And here we are. We're pretty much done. At this point, all that we need to do is just to serve it on a beautiful plate like this. And you're pretty much ready to go. Do in a very short period of time. And look, and here we go with the sauce that you can dip your bread into it. And there you are.
Oh, delicious.
Scampi alla Stellino, so to speak.
Now, also around the holidays, people always do turkey. So any good recipe for a turkey?
Let me show you that idea that I have about the turkey for you.
Good.
We have actually coated the outside of the turkey, the skin, with classic olive oil.
This looks beautiful.
Well, what we wanted to do is use something that has a high smoke point, so that allows to have this wonderful high heat attacking it and still be able to baste it and give you this wonderful crinkly, crispy skin, the look that just makes you fall in love. If we use butter, one of the biggest difficulties would have been, and let's leave the health issues aside, is the butter tends to burn when you have it on high heat, especially at the end, when you just want to get the crispy skin, as we have achieved in this particular case. So here is one proof on how, by using the classic olive oil, not only you don't burn it, but you also have this wonderful seductive taste of the olive oil itself that completes the flavor of everything else.
All right, you're going to make our holidays really good this year.
Thank you.
Well, I have to thank you so much for being here. I mean, you really opened our eyes, our minds, and our taste buds. We have some great recipes and lots of great ideas also to use olive oil, but not only for the taste. I mean, we know the taste is delicious, but also the health factor that we spoke about today. That's really important for a lot of us.
Well, and I would like to invite everyone to just come and see us on Pompeian.com. There's a lot of recipes that we have on the site.
We have today.
There's a lot of videos of me, by the way, and I look particularly handsome.
Oh, well, we got to watch
wife.
those.
And step by step on how to do it.
And
you can really have a fantastic time. And it can keep you entertained for quite a few evenings, as a matter of fact.
Delicious recipes. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
It's delightful.
And thanks to all of you for watching. And if you missed any part of today's show, please visit our website at designingspaces.tv. We'll see you soon, and happy holidays.
Hey, everybody's hungry here on the cruise, so I think I'll start to cut the turkey.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea to me.
Ciao a tutti.
We're going to eat.
And that about wraps it up for today. I'm David Jones.
And I'm Debi Marie.
We want you to have a very safe
and a very happy holiday season. Bye-bye. You can visit these websites to learn more about the participants on this edition of Designing Spaces.